Back in 2015, the Golden State Warriors defeated the Memphis Grizzlies in 6 games, on their way to the second NBA championship, where Andre Iguodala won Finals MVP. Just 4 years later, on June 30th, 2019, Andre Iguodala was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies. But soon after, it was announced that Andre Iguodala would not join the Memphis Grizzlies training camp. It was even said that he would actually sit out the rest of the season if he was not traded. This led to Dylan Brooks saying, "I can't wait till we can find a way to trade him so we can play him and show him what Memphis is really about." Stephen Curry saw the disrespect that the Memphis Grizzlies were showing Iguodala. They posted this photo, which then led to John Morant posting this photo of Kevin Durant holding the Finals MVP trophy. Eventually, on February 5th, 2020, Andre Iguodala was traded to the Miami Heat in a 3-team trade. After finding out about the trade, John Morant and Dylan Brooks was asked by reporters of what they thought about the Andre Iguodala situation.
With the Iggy situation being resolved now?
I didn't care after that. That's in the past. It's over with. And we're going to play with the players that's on the floor. We handle the business, so we're fine.
You got some attention the other night for the comments about Iguodala. Are you glad that there's at least, there's finally a resolution to that?
Yeah, for sure. Now we have a player that we're getting that actually wants to play with us.
Eventually, the two teams met in the 2021 play-in tournament, and whoever won the game will face the number 1 seed Utah Jazz. The game went back and forth, but eventually, the Memphis Grizzlies won 117-112 and faced Donovan Mitchell and the Utah Jazz in the game where John Morant finished with 35 points. The Warriors would once again miss the playoffs, but Stephen Curry had these words to say in a press conference after the game.
Bottle this up, everybody make the right strides, take advantage of the summer.
But in 2021, the Warriors had some breaking news, as it was announced that Andre Iguodala will return to the Warriors on a 1-year deal. But throughout the 2021-2022 season, the Memphis Grizzlies defeated the Warriors 3 times, while the Warriors beat them once, while also garnering a reputation for their trash talking. During a game between the Memphis Grizzlies and the New York Knicks, Desmond Bane got into it with Julius Randle. And during a press conference after the game, John Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. said these famous words.
We're competing for something huge, so we're not going to, and we appreciate, if you bring it and we on that, that's cool. But
What we look for.
That's what you saw happen. You saw
ain't no running in the M, man. We climb up the chimney.
Yeah, for sure.
We ain't ducking no smoke.
Man.
Andre Iguodala on March 28th, 2022, made his return to Memphis, but got booed during the game.
He is not well received in Memphis, as after he was traded, he never played here. Ended up going to.
After the game, Dylan Brooks has a couple words to say to Iguodala.
Warriors and let him, do his thing over there. But we were from the beginning. We were growing a base. We had a base. And we just kept building and building and building, and more guys got on the train, and we were able to, create something like this, and keep building this dynasty. And
just a day later, Jaren Jackson Jr. would go on Twitter and post "straight to numbers," the Warriors' playoff slogan. And by the end of the year, the Grizzlies finished as the second best team in the Western Conference, while the Warriors finished as the 3rd seed in the West. In Game 1, Draymond Green would be ejected for a flagrant foul on Brandon Clark after hitting him in the face and then bringing him down by grabbing his jersey. But instead of arguing with the ref, Draymond Green would actually celebrate running to the locker room. Luckily, Klay Thompson made a huge 3-pointer to give the Warriors a 1-point lead in the game. But on the last play of the game, John Morant got the ball on the inbounds play and passed by Brandon Clark. But unfortunately, he missed the layup. The Warriors won the game 117-116. In Game 2, Gary Payton II was hit hard by Dillon Brooks on a layup, which gave Gary Payton II a fractured elbow, which also caused Dillon Brooks to be suspended for Game 3 and will be ejected from the game because it was a flagrant foul, penalty 2. Just game time seconds later, Draymond Green was elbowed by Xavier Tillman on accident and will leave the game early because of a bloody nose. Also, there was no technical or flagrant foul called because there was actually no foul call on the play. And while walking back to the locker room, Draymond Green would actually flip off the fans because they were cheering for him being hurt. This is what Draymond Green had to say about that.
If you're gonna boot somebody who get elbowed in the eye and face running on blood, you should get flipped off. So
Follow.
Also, Steve Kerr will go on and talk about the hit by Dillon Brooks on Gary Payton, saying that he broke the code.
Well, everybody's going to compete, everybody's going to fight for everything, but there's a code in this league. There's a code that players follow, where you never put a guy's season/career in jeopardy by taking somebody out in midair and clubbing him across the head and ultimately fracturing Gary's elbow. This is a guy who's been toiling the last 6 years trying to make it in this league. Finally found a home, just playing his butt off this year. In the playoffs, this should be the time of his life. And the guy comes in and whacks him across the head in midair. He broke the code. Dillon Brooks broke the code.
Memphis will defeat Golden State, tying the series after John Morant posted 47 points. In the fourth quarter of Game 3, Jordan Poole accidentally grabbed John Morant's knee as they were fighting for the ball, which caused John Morant to miss the rest of the game. John Morant went on Twitter and tweeted out, "Broke the code." The knee injury caused John Morant to miss the rest of the series. In Game 4, it was a tight game, but Stephen Curry finished with 32 points for a Warriors victory. Before in Game 5, it was reported that Stephen Curry said the Warriors' game plan was to whoop that trick.
I asked Stephen Curry what the plan was today, and he just turned around and looked at me and said, "Whoop that trick."
A slogan that is very famous to Grizzlies fans, where the Warriors were mocking before the game. But the Grizzlies would have the last laugh as they blew up the Warriors, 95-134. But the loss didn't matter to them, as the Warriors were still in good spirits before Game 6.
they not gonna whoop that trick alone. We're gonna whoop that trick together if we're gonna whoop that trick,
But it turns out the Grizzlies were not ready for Game 6 Klay, as Klay Thompson finished with 30 points and 8 3-pointers made, while Dillon Brooks led the Grizzlies in scoring with 30 points. The game didn't finish out some heated moments, however, as Dillon Brooks, later in the game, shoved Stephen Curry for absolutely no reason, which led to Klay Thompson having some words for Dillon Brooks, who also led Jordan Poole mocking John Morant gritty, which then led to Dillon Brooks calling the Warriors old.
We're young, they're getting old, so they know we're coming every single year.
After winning the championship, Klay Thompson will call Jaren Jackson Jr. a bum.
I can't wait. There was this one player in the Grizzlies who tweeted strength in numbers after they beat us in the regular season, and it pissed me off so much. I can't wait to retweet that thing. Freaking bum.
This then led to John Morant responding to a tweet that said the Grizzlies were healthy, they could have won it all. John Morant would then tweet got a lot of real estate, saying how the Grizzlies were living in the Warriors' minds. Draymond will respond saying, "We traded our real estate in John Morant. The property value was higher in Boston." This then led to a fan tweeting out wanting a Warriors Christmas game matchup. We led to John Morant responding to it say, "9 to M, bring him to the trenches." Draymond Green will respond saying, "The champs play at home on Christmas Day." John Morant will respond saying, "I'm coming to you then. Tell him to book that. I'm on your block." The NBA then announced that the Warriors and Grizzlies will play on Christmas Day, with John Morant saying, we both got what we wanted. The Warriors will continue to diss the Grizzlies by dancing to Whoop That Trick during their championship parade. Draymond Green would then say that Dallas is a bigger threat than Memphis.
Dallas is a threat. Can't quite say they're a problem yet. They are 100% a big threat. Memphis is a little threat.
Stephen Curry would then kick a Grizzlies ball that was thrown at him by a fan at a golf event. The next season, during the Christmas Day game, the Warriors would destroy the Grizzlies, without Stephen Curry, who was separating his shoulders. Then on a jump shot, Klay Thompson would taunt Dillon Brooks after making the shot over him. Klay Thompson then said this after the game.
Hey, they've said that you guys are old, that the road to the championship goes through Boston, not necessarily Golden State. I think you showed Dillon Brooks what you think about all that, but what message did you want to send tonight?
Man, they was talking about dynasty and all that. You can't talk dynasty when you haven't won before. I don't think people realize how hard that is, the commitment and sacrifice it takes.
The next time these two teams played again, Stephen Curry will be ejected for throwing his mouthpiece for being frustrated with Jordan Poole's shot selection. But Jordan Poole will come up clutch, winning the game for Golden State. Then Dillon Brooks will go on to talk about the Draymond Green playing with a like Draymond or Golden State at all. Which made Draymond go on his podcast and say this about
Draymond does out there. He said, I don't like Draymond at all. You don't know me. I just don't like Golden State. I quite frankly wouldn't like a team that beats me all the time either. I don't like anything to do with them. Quite frankly, you were a little kid in high school watching us win championships. Should be happy that you even witnessed that, or maybe college, but you get the point. You're a fan. Draymond talks a lot. You talk a lot now, so if you have 4 rings, sure, you talk a lot more. For All-Stars, you probably talk a bit more. Defensive Player of the Year, you for damn sure would talk more. 2 Olympic gold medals, you definitely would be talking, because that would mean you beat Team USA, and we all know how that goes. So gets away with a lot too. What exactly do I get away with? I have 15 texts, 1 rate. His game is cool. If you ever wondered why the Memphis Grizzlies is not ready to compete for a championship, look no further than this idiot right here. They're actually depending on this guy to help them win a championship. And he says his game is cool. Quite frankly, that just shows how little you know about basketball. And yet, you running around talking about a dynasty? The dynasty starts after you, not with you. He plays with heart, knows the ins and outs of the defense. If you want to be quite frank, I made the ins and outs of our defense. I guess that's why they like him over there. I'm trying to figure out why they like you in Memphis. Or do they like you in Memphis? That's a better question. I'm not sure your teammates like you, but I can tell you why they like me over there. When you contribute in the way that I have contributed to 4 championships, they tend to like you.
The Grizzlies and Warriors played later that week, but Ja Morant will not be playing because he was suspended for showing a gun on Instagram Live. But Memphis will absolutely blow out the Warriors, with Draymond and Dillon Brooks even having...
And now another steal. Brooks by Green puts it up and in. Oh, they're talking. They're discussing the podcast. Green won't have any of it, and Brooks wants to try to light the fire. A 17-4 Memphis Grizzly run after the Warriors.
Oh, hey, both of them kept their cool.
After the game, Dillon had more words for Draymond.
That was an impressive showing tonight.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate it. You should give the mic to Draymond.
What was that?
Make him keep talking about me so I can play better.
But because of that
physical
defense, it wears you down. It gets into your legs. But what it also does is it makes you try to do a little bit more. And with that doing a little bit more, it gets you out of your rhythm. And I thought that Dillon did a great job of getting them out of their rhythm, meaning Steph Curry.
Grizzlies will also go to 6-4 on the second night of back-to-backs.
After the season, both teams will make the playoffs. They will both fall to the LA Lakers, with the Grizzlies losing in the first round and the Warriors losing in the second round. After, Dillon Brooks asked for a bigger role in the team. But instead, Memphis decided to not bring him back under any circumstances. In free agency, Draymond resigned with the Warriors on a 4-year. Later down free agency, Dylan Brooks on a 4-year deal with the Houston Rockets. But even when Brooks is gone, the rivalry is still on. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.
Steady calling my phone. I done told you before that it's over. Leave me alone. No, it's hurting you to see me go.